Okay, welcome to this spooky edition of LangTime Studio where my camera is misaligned. Because for the first time I'm using the camera on the new MacBook Pro I have to kind of fix things. And so I'm going to have to adjust the camera. This is the last episode of LangTime Studio before my least favorite holiday, American Halloween.
Oh, you are a sinner.
Yeah, I know.
It took this whole time for me to see. I had to refresh the page. It wasn't showing me YouTube.
Why am I getting I'm getting a double thing on.
What double thing?
Do we look right on YouTube?
I mean, other than the fact that like your camera is showing this part of your face.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I have two screens here, preview, basic, and.
I don't know that. Are you talking about an OBS?
Yeah, and so
Yeah,
I want to try to.
No, we just see the basic view in the
I want to
YouTube,
fix
so
my
it's fine.
camera, but the problem is I only have half a screen to do so.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even know how to get these other things to show up, so I kept like hiding them, bringing them back, like nothing was working.
Duplicate scene, duplicate sources. I wonder if this is something new in OBS. Anyway, the point is like I can't actually, so I'm gonna have to do this the silly way. Sorry. Let's see here. That looks about right? So now I just need to recenter so that I'm over here. And then I think I hit the Alt button. Yeah. Let's see, I had it lined up exactly right. Now I don't. That's really it.
I don't know what has changed. The camera is still very close up on you.
No,
and
it's fine.
when you say it's fine, do you think it's fine on YouTube?
Yeah.
Because it's not. Like I'm on YouTube. It may be the new camera thing where it tries to find you and center you no matter what you do.
No, it's that you don't understand. This is the problem. Do you see how there's two of them?
Yeah.
That's the problem. And so it's fine on the preview, but it's not. Why are there even two screens now? There didn't used to be two screens. So now there's two screens, and the second screen isn't updating with what the preview is doing. This is frustrating me. I don't want this second screen. Is it studio mode? Let's see what happens if I unclick studio mode. Oh, I think that fixed it. Let me know, when it catches up if that fixed it.
Now you're good.
Okay, so there's a thing called studio mode that gives you a second screen. I don't know, which is probably a smart thing for smart people who know what the hell the things are, but I don't know what the things are. Anyway, but this looks good. Very, very sorry. This is on me for a whole myriad of reasons. Let's just call this one my fault. Why the heck is that showing up? Oh, because I pressed that. That's why it's showing up. Yes?
I'm going to be honest, I wasn't super listening as you were talking about your least favorite holiday. But just in case you didn't mention it, seeing Nemo's comment, just a heads up to all of our friends who are not in the U.S. Our time changes this weekend, so next Thursday we're going to be on a different time zone from some of you. So we're going to shift backwards an hour over the weekend. And so just heads up for anyone who's not in the U.S. daylight savings time program. So that, that includes our friends in Arizona. They need to be aware that when they need to tune in will change.
Yeah. Some of you may have already changed your clocks over in Europe. I think I've mentioned this before on the stream, but yeah, for some reason, one of the last things that George W. Bush did in office was just extended the daylight period, so the daylight time period, by like, I don't know, 3 weeks. Or maybe it was just 2, I don't remember, but that's why now we're off slightly from, for example, Britain. Maybe one day we will all be able to be adults and say, you know what, we can just have one time moving forward. That would be nice. And if we feel like the light isn't useful for what we're doing, we can just start scheduling things an hour earlier or an hour later at certain times of the year. That seems much more reasonable to me. Anyway, yeah, not a fan of Halloween. I wonder, is Mateus here or is he going to bed? Because I have a bone to pick with him. But first, some important programming announcements. We have Let's Have a Booba streaming season 4 right at the beginning. Every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific, I believe.
1:30.
Yeah, so is it, since Miles is on it, I assume.
Oh, that's a good question. Change. I don't know next week. Miles or Jake. I've seen Miles commenting. Is Jake here?
Yeah, Jake's here.
Oh, good. I have not
Wait.
Seen Jake's name yet, I don't think.
Sorry, I assumed that when I saw something with Jay. That was Jonathan. No, Jake isn't here.
Anyway, can you verify what time?
Yeah.
Your next week's stream will be, because one of you is in one time shifty zone and one of you is in a different one. So
I like cute cats. Did I not? Oh, you know what? I didn't.
David likes friendly pumpkins. Like,
yeah,
orange is a great color. We like fall decorations. We just don't like Halloween.
Yeah, I also forgot to do a Discord event for today's stream. That's my bad.
Okay, so Miles is saying next week it'll be the usual time that we would expect. So 1:30 Pacific next week. And so yeah.
Sorry, and so okay, what am I saying?
I don't know.
Right. And also Madeline James has a number of channels, but I believe Madeline is still streaming with Jake on Mondays.
On Mondays, yeah.
Yeah, and we totally missed it.
We were doing something on Monday though. What were we doing?
We're doing something every day. Things have busied up.
Things have busied up. Oh well. A number of channels. Yes. What time is it on Monday, Madeline, that you do the thing with Jake? The Pillar World.
I have a feeling it's noon, but I don't want to say it until I know for sure.
I kept mishearing as Pillow World.
Yeah.
Whenever I heard about it. It was a delightful.
It's really interesting because the pillows in Pillar World are actually much taller
and not so pillowy.
Yeah. Have you ever seen those cube pillows?
Oh, Jonathan is saying not every Monday, but many of them.
Okay. Jake and I are streaming on Monday. We're sticking consistent.
Eastern time, so 3 p.m.
12 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah. 12 Pacific, 3 Eastern. Yeah.
Yeah. Goodness.
I guess I should turn because I keep leaning back in my chair.
Saturday, 6 a.m. I thought we were aligned. I guess we weren't. No, that's a little bit better.
Yeah, well, I was fine when I was sitting up, but I keep leaning back, and when I lean back, the camera was just in the wrong place.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah.
You ready? No. Both of us have our heads in different places. David's working on one thing. I'm working on another.
I'm working on 5 things. And that's one of the things that makes it difficult. Anyway, but what we need to do to get ourselves back into it, we're going to take a break the Monday after next. That's a weird expression. Because that could mean anything.
What do you mean?
No, I guess it couldn't. Let's talk. No, okay.
So taking a break from Pillar World.
Hold on a sec. Yes, although we're going to take a break the Monday after next to talk about allophony for my spell language. So you won't be streaming?
No, I think they're going to be streaming, but they're not going to be talking about the Pillar World, I think.
No pillows?
I think they're going to be talking, they're going to still be doing stuff, but they'll be working specifically on her spell language, which is a different project.
Maybe you can each bring a pillow to the stream just so that we can see some? Anyway. Got it. Oh, yeah. Allophony.
So I really want to call it allophony.
It's a very Carl pronunciation. By the way, Neography A to Z. It's a channel. Check it out.
I think you mean neography. I love thinking different pronunciations for things. Okay.
Yep. So we're gonna. Oh, and by the way, so to explain that comment, especially for people who don't watch a lot, Carl's channel Neography A to Z puts up video reviews of neographies, not live streams, but video reviews. But periodically, sometimes Carl does live stream. It's just not regular. So if you're really, really interested, especially if you like neographies, what you should probably do, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is subscribe to Carl's channel and click on the bell, because then it'll just alert you to when something is happening. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about polls. All right, get us back into it. Let me make sure that that's, no, not even that's framed right. How about that?
And speaking of polls, get your midterm votes in.
Oh my goodness, that's right. If you're in California,
especially
one of the great things about California is that we have propositions. Propositions are things that citizens can put on the ballot if they get enough signatures, and then if they do, they go onto a ballot and everybody votes on it. And it is one person, one vote, no representatives, no electoral colleges, no delegates, nothing like that. It's just every single citizen, do you like this or don't you? And if it is 50.001% or more, it's law. If not, it isn't. It's a really nice thing. Not every state has that. Anyway, so yeah, important vote coming November 4th.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, so poll, bats, yeah. What are we doing? Did you happen to refresh this by any chance?
Refresh what?
The page.
When you say page, can you tell me which page you're talking about?
I'll just do it. Just in case there were extra votes that didn't.
I opened it at 155 if you're asking about Patreon.
Right, but it might have loaded a cached version of that page.
Like I went
from the last time I looked at it, which was like yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, this poll is about what we are doing with ejective affricates. That's it. Okay. I'm back in it, Jess. I'm back in it.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So our click series are going to be nasal clicks. And they're going to come from sequences of nasals followed by ejective stops. All right? Mm-hmm. There's only 2 of these, the and the and they become and like that. Mm-hmm. All right? And that's well and good. However, we also have ejective affricates. We have and ka, which we need to get rid of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the question was, well, what happens when nasals come before those? And we didn't have an answer. Because there's the voiceless ejectiveness of it and the nasalness of it that suggests click, and then there's the affricateness of it, which suggests, well, maybe not click. So that was what we were deciding on this time. All right, so anyway, so what might happen in the situations where we get clicks with ejective stops when they are voiceless ejective affricates? So one option is for absolutely nothing to happen. And so in other words, the nasal plus ejective becomes but then the affricates don't do anything. So it's like just a, what do you call it? A syllabic nasal followed by the affricates. So and ka. That's a possibility. So that's what we mean by nothing happens. We mean literally nothing happens. Mm-hmm. Then we have our affriclick change. In other words, in this environment and in this environment only, the ejectives are treated identically. The affricates are treated identically to regular ejectives. And so becomes just like and ka becomes just like all right, so that's an option. They are basically leveled. Another option is that we get aspirated clicks. Now we said that one of the things that we did not want to do was have a whole bunch of different types of clicks in this language, and that remains true. So we included the proviso that our intention is to kill these in some way, but to essentially to preserve the difference clickishly for a little bit. So if it was it would become if it was I'm sorry, it becomes ha, 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 something like that. And same with and ha. I don't like it.
Yeah, they're saying I think you need to scroll a little more.
What is meant by this? Interesting.
I have always said proviso, not proviso. And so now I'm trying to look this up to find out if there's alternate pronunciations or if I'm just wrong.
I have heard it.
Proviso?
No, proviso.
Well, that's fine that you've heard it. My question is, am I just straight up wrong, or is it an alternate pronunciation? Proviso. Is proviso an alternate pronunciation? Or am I straight up wrong?
Okay. And what have you found?
One dictionary says proviso is the main pronunciation. The other one says proviso is the only pronunciation.
Well, how about that?
And so I don't know, but I'm trying to figure out...
proviso does sound a bit like a pharmaceutical.
Never mind. This one had... This is proviso, not proviso. It had fake IPA. So it looked like it was IPA.
Oh,
but then when I looked at other entries that I know are pronounced I, it's the same thing. So never mind. I read it wrong.
Yeah.
I used to have this on IPA. I need to figure out how to change that again. Nobody wants fake IPA. Mm-hmm. There it is. I found it.
Well done.
Okay, so now when I look up proviso, I mean, now I see the IPA and I see it's I. So I have been saying it wrong. I would say my entire life, but I'm pretty sure I didn't start attempting to say that word until probably... Have I ever said that word in context without just reading something? I don't know.
I've only heard it in political contexts, and there tends to be a certain method of pronunciation for those words. Latinate words and Greek words.
Sure.
Tend to be more Anglified.
It turns out, like, I know a lot more words than I use, as is the case for most speakers. But, like, I feel like I recognize a lot of words, but see no use for them in my daily life, or even my teacherly life.
Like
I see no use for them.
Like abecedarium or abecedarian, the associated adjective.
Yes.
Because what was on the connections was abecedarium.
Yes.
Very strange. Okay, and by the way, the other option was to get rid of the nasal, essentially when you have 3 consonantal sounds in a row, regardless of the fact that they're affricates and are treated as a single phoneme, when you have the 3 sounds in a row, it's too much. You get rid of the first. And so just becomes the nasal just disappears. Now we have to see which one was the winner, but since only the confidant poll is pulled up, I need to actually look at all of them. So I'm going to do that on my phone. Is it not going to let me look at it? It's not going to let me look at it. Hold on a sec. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, that's actually quite clear. Okay, got it. Is that RJ?
Okay. Yes, we did feel your spirit. Indeed.
Yeah.
And I'm explaining my fake IPA.
Yeah.
Because I just want to make sure that people know that that's what I mean.
Yeah. As opposed to what most of us mean with fake IPA, which is 0 alcohol Heineken. I have no idea.
It's not an IPA.
I don't know. Do IPAs all have names that come from Sanskrit?
No, but they do often have funky names. Like companies like to have a lot of fun with their names.
Anyway, you can probably guess what the winner was. I believe triconsonantal shortening was the least popular. Next was actually the affriclicks. I don't know why people didn't like that. Nothing Happens came in second place. But all of these were distant second, third, and fourth places to the aspirated clicks. So the aspirated clicks have won. So we're going to have to find something to do with them to get rid of them. All right.
I also need to start the Lexergy thing. I keep putting it off.
Oh.
But I need to start one.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice.
It would be nice.
Yeah. Okay, so, but let's go to the, okay, loss of prenasalization. And then clickification, here we go. This,
oh, that's right, I moved my cursor.
And save.
My computer is no longer on the corner that keeps it awake. Okay, so we're getting...
So I guess we need to get rid of the minus constricted, or minus continuant, right?
Maybe? I'm in the wrong section, I've realized.
Yeah.
I
because
was up in the proto-sounds, which is not where our sound changes are, of course.
Because affricates are at least little bitty continuants, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this and get this. Can you tell me if I do this, does it change chat? It shouldn't.
Does it change chat? Like on the screen?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. What if I do this? Well, that doesn't change it either. Right.
I'm not seeing any. I'm like putting my pin up in front of my face to mark where we are, so that way I know if I saw something change.
This will allow me to kind of read it.
Okay.
Okay.
Because of the time delay, but no, I didn't see any.
This results specifically as NT. Okay, so now this is a comma. Sequences of that becoming that. And separation and sequences of that becoming that. All right, and now we can get rid of all this stuff.
Okay.
All right. And let's actually put these down
And
here.
yeah, those were just ideas.
Yeah.
Because 4 and 5 are happening, right?
Yeah.
So can I get rid of this extra space?
Yeah, I don't know why that was there. And just to, make it clear what Chad is talking about, yes, indeed, Matisse is not here, even though I specifically requested his presence.
That's a sad owl
Yeah.
saying, "Where's Matisse?"
I know why I've been so puzzled by the temperature thing on my computer.
Why?
It's set to Philadelphia.
So it's radically different. What is it in Philadelphia?
66. But that's why, periodically I was like, really? It's that cold outside? Well,
no,
okay.
It's 82 here.
Yeah.
I did see your time clocks, though, on your desktop, and that made me happy.
Yeah.
You're different. The time zones you have it set to specifically.
I guess I'm going to set it to Huntington Beach because...
You can't set it for current location?
Oh. Oh my gosh. It is the same as what's on my phone. Except that my phone has a current location.
And since your computer didn't, it went to your first other assigned location in your weather thing?
Which is Philadelphia. Well, this is silly. Why can't it do current location? Oh, well.
And Garden Grove should be one of the options.
It's not actually. Because it was always my current location, so I didn't need it. And if I'm not there, then I don't care what temperature it is. Okay. My goodness.
I don't have the temperature on my desktop. No, I do. And it's set to Garden Grove. Are you sure you can't set it to Garden Grove?
I mean, I can insert it, yeah, but it's not set to my current location.
Okay,
anyway. All right. We need to... Here, wait. So I'm going to put that like that. And put that like that. I'm going to add... we want to kill that. We've killed it in one environment so far, but it's a very narrow environment. It persists in many others.
I think we're supposed to get more fall-like weather after this little heat wave. I think. People are talking about how it feels like fall over on the East Coast.
Oh, not a chance, Bubba. We hate it. That's the sound for what we're going to do to it.
Okay. Where do we go from here, David? What do we do next?
Well,
how do we create a language?
The question is if we're going to actually do tone or not.
Is that something we're feeling for our bats?
I think it kind of seems like it.
Our little batty bats?
Yeah. That would at least get rid of the ejectiveness of the and would just leave which we can get rid of some other way.
Oh, and by the way, our bats absolutely need to be librarians. I sent David an Instagram post of pictures of these bats that live in an old library. And it's apparently a very good situation going on because the bats eat the insects that would eat the books, and they don't harm the books. They don't touch them. And so, anyway, they let these bats live in old libraries. And
we keep finding things that we wish we would have done in some location after we're not there. So that was Portugal.
Yeah.
And then there was the amazing cat cafe in Budapest.
Yeah.
Oh, killer. Okay, so the idea would be that we would get rid of the ejectives everywhere else.
Okay.
And they would lead to a tone. I don't remember which one. Like, I feel like in my head, glottalization is associated with low tone. But,
I feel like we looked this up one time. Didn't we look it up when we were looking at the adjectives in Wokutishu and what they did?
Well...
No, because we didn't have any adjectives as codas, and we decided the codas were the tone givers. But
Jake is saying glottal will go both ways, as demonstrated likely in a Baskin. Jonathan, I am puzzled by this comment, Danielle, but stay grammar.
Oh, Danielle's going to choir.
No, not really. She's going to that cat cafe.
Yeah.
I don't blame her.
No, she's on her way to Portugal to go to the Bat Library.
Oh, that's right, Bat Library. I'm sure there's probably a cat cafe in Portugal as well.
Libretians. Doesn't quite work.
Batbarians?
No, like Batberry. Batbarian?
What's the what is the scientific name for bats? This is your cue, Mr. Luridian.
The flying mouse.
Oh yes, Fledermaus. Right?
Helimaus. Like a helicopter, but it's a mouse.
Oh my god. Now we need a helimaus. Using its little tail.
Oh.
Chiropterans.
Ooh, jeans.
Dang. Jake is saying a glottal initial is tense and high, but glottal vowels tend to be... I'm going to assume that's low. I can't see all of chat.
Say that again, sorry? A glottal initial is tense and high, but glottal vowels tend low. Is that the comment?
Yes.
That was Jake's comment. Yeah, I noticed. Oh. I think that was the problem I was running into last week, where I can only read half of the chat window because you can't move your pages because of things. Anyway, I think I know why you can't read all the comments.
I see Bubba's suggestion. It doesn't make any sense to me. But that is definitely a sound change. Jake's on walkabout with an IPA.
A little tipsy.
Wow, Chiroptera. It makes him sound like dinosaurs.
What is the scientific name? It is indeed Chiroptera.
Look, all I know is that bats like little pets, just like little mice do. P to T sound changes is about as cursed as W to 0 at the beginning of a word.
The largest bats are called flying foxes.
Oh.
How delightful is that? Oh, and they are big. They're not found here, though. I'm sorry to say.
Okay, I've got another question for folks. What happens tonally to a syllable that is preceded by a glottal stop? So glottal stop starts it. This could be the beginning of our chain.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Oh, I was saying it for them. I was saying it for them, not for you, so.
But she knew what you were going to say, and she's like, no, there's nothing for me to repeat. Done. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, Jonathan, it was. She thought I said her name. And I did not. But it was perfect timing, especially as David right after that was like, yeah, no, I'm not talking to you. And so I'm going to keep going back to reading about bats.
It's giving me a suggestion. So like start a Q&A, start a poll, and then one of the other options is members only live stream. Can you start a live stream during a live stream?
My God. And then we go dark on the main live stream as we go talk to our members only, and it's like, we'll be back. Like a Zoom breakout room, like we'll be back.
And there's like no members because, man, you remember the brief period in time where Kay just went nuts
and gave everyone
everybody who was in the chat a membership? That was, what a time that was. Everybody had little icons next to their name. That was cool.
That was cool. Okay, so first of all, I feel like we may have said this before, but I'm going to say it again because I forgot about it until this moment, that in older English varieties, the word was flittermouse for bat, which of course goes with the German and Dutch and, you know, the other Germanic languages, the way that they have them named. I guess not Dutch, Swedish. Anyway, I think Dutch. Mateus isn't here to tell me. Mm-hmm. Anywho, I love this. Now they think, according to this etymology that I'm reading, our modern word bat is from Old English backe, which is potentially it went from a K to a T because of influence from another word from Latin, latta, which was a word for moth. And so we may have the word bat instead of bacca because of Latin's word for moth. Which is awesome.
All right. I'm just going to throw out a couple of things. So we have currently... What's the matter?
Nemo says Amazon moved my ebook delivery date by 30 days to November 30th. Jeez. Is this from my book or from a different book? And if it's ebook, why would that have to wait? Like, shouldn't the ebook be like released first? Like, there's nothing to print. Oh, thank you, Tincture. Duchess Vleermuis. Vleermuis, however you say that. Oh, nice, Jonathan. It literally is like a leather flapper.
Just 1 second.
It really is good. The night flapper. That's the word for a bat.
I just noticed that like all the stuff that was on my computer was left open.
Yeah, Nemo, I am really sorry. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know why that's doing that. Like, I would assume the ebook would actually be available before the print in terms of like they've had the digital files for long enough that you would think they could just release them. So I don't know if there's some sort of computer thing going on behind the scenes where they need to make sure everything renders correctly and it's actually much more difficult. I don't know. I don't know, but I am sorry. That really stinks.
Let's also do.
So you had asked a question of everyone except for me. Have you gotten your answer yet?
Everybody's saying high tone.
Okay. Oh, the delicate skeletons of bats do not fossilize well. Which that means that there are very few potential genre of bats that are actually documented because so many would have just been lost to time.
Bats flap their wings more than birds.
Really?
Yeah. But that's just
like I just associate them with so much of the gliding that they do.
I was gonna say, my joke was that's a statistical anomaly because there are more bats. But so we've got these forms here. Ha, ah. And we need to ask ourselves if we like them, and if not, what are we going to do about them and which ones? George says, I gotta go, and now all I'm thinking about is people in our stream turning into bats suddenly going.
Love it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're asking specifically about these forms just because of the glottal onset and the glottal-like codas together.
Yeah, and also just in general, like I chose some forms specifically, but maybe plenty of others that would be a bit more normal. But just the question is if we like them, especially if we like glottal stops at the beginning and ends of words.
I'm just gonna find out if our patrons like it who are watching.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a little poll, but like non-binding. I just want to know. I'm gonna just say like onset and coda glottal stops. Specifically for this language. I put 4 bats in 2 of the options. The others are just like, I like this or that. Okay. We'll find out what people are thinking. Because I'm currently on the fence.
This is really interesting. Oh my God.
Like it is. I am so excited to see where this ends. like based on the beginning, I was like, oh, okay, we have a strong opinion going.
Bib, what did you vote?
Is Bib here? Or you just keep invoking the name to see what happens?
He was here.
Oh, okay.
Very exciting thing for patrons this Saturday.
That's the first.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Oh, Jonathan had asked if we're doing a live stream for October. Was that like CopyCon? The patron live stream.
Yeah.
So October's live stream was CopyCon. That took that took a lot of time and energy out of our month, and we need that time and energy for the last weekend.
Tethys, the answer is yes. Of course, you can have a syllable that simply ends in a vowel, which means that theoretically, ha would be distinguished from ha.
Mm-hmm.
And you could have the true quattro, ah, 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 and ah.
Oh God. Man.
And this, the winner was they like both.
But I am super surprised at the
that was the question,
coda. I'm also surprised at how many of you just prefer them for this language. And so that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should dig into that.
Yeah.
And find out why. But yeah, I know it would be very unlikely that we would end up having a pair of 4 of one syllable words that would end up being like ah. I know that would be very unlikely. But we could get all sorts of tone things out of that. I am just surprised. I don't know where I am leaning.
I have an idea for something that we could do as a beginning into where we're headed, but I don't know how to do it.
Where do you think? What can you give me more information?
Yeah, and this is that glottalization, not glottals. Glottalization is lost at the end of a syllable.
Okay.
And what that would do is this would go to nothing. Don't do that if I don't ask you to do that. My goodness. This would become that. This would become that. This would become that. And this would become that. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would happen.
And that's in coda position?
Yes.
Okay.
But this is what I wanted to do. All right.
Just a second. These are 2 separate rules, right? The semicolon is like this is the first half, this is the second half.
And it's related to the previous. Essentially, when the glottal stop is lost, these vowels are treated as like super short, and the other vowels are
treated as long.
Yeah.
I see. So when the vowel is followed by any other coda, the vowel lengthens but the coda is retained, or is the coda lost?
No, because the only coda that's being lost is just the glottal stop.
So
that's it. So in front of any other coda, the vowel is short. It's just in open syllables, effectively. It's long.
Is this correct, what I've just typed?
No.
Can you fix it so I understand what you mean?
That fixed it.
So I don't know what you mean by this.
Oh, but also this isn't possible because we don't actually have regular K.
Okay, fill in the blank. Put a consonant that we have. And please explain what this means.
A vowel before the end of a word or before a consonant that is followed by a vowel becomes long.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct, Jonathan. It is a little bit of a surprise, but yeah, at this proto stage, we only have ejective stops, the glottal stop, or prenasalized stops. Essentially, there's only glottalized stop consonants or prenasalized. That's it. Jake knows what I feel about the word tenuous and how I plotted what happened in the most recent Let's Have a Booba. Correct, Dynonid. But also crucially, like you can imagine, it's going to become at this stage, right? Well, I'll pretend there's a thing there, but is going to become. So essentially, I mean, I would hope everybody would recognize what's happening here is that we would essentially be creating Hausa, where if you look at the Hausa language, there are long vowels everywhere. It seems like the default vowel is long. So many long vowels. So many long vowels. We would have so many long vowels.
So when the coda consonant is a nasal, it's a short vowel.
Yeah. When the coda consonant is anything, it's a short vowel.
It just felt like we were doing something to shorten it because of the ejectiveness at the end. And now it's like, well, if it's a coda consonant, it's short, so it's actually not special. Like there's nothing special about any of the coda consonants we've just listed.
No, there's nothing special about them. We're just getting rid of the glottalization, and this happens to result in a complete deletion. And the idea is that with this complete deletion, you either have, those being completely identical, or you say that this one is now treated as extra short.
But it's not extra short, it's just short. Like, because anything will get treated the same. And so like whether it's a glottal stop or an M at the end, it's not extra short, it's just losing the final glottal.
Yeah.
We're lengthening everything else.
It's preserving this distinction. Yeah. Lengthening everything else to preserve that distinction.
Well, I just wanted to say, like, the glottal is not making the vowel short.
No, it's just they thought of it.
I know, but like I thought the point was to shorten up the vowel and make the vowel distinct because of the glottalization.
No, it's a dissimilation.
And I think the rule, I guess, to me, it should just be like if it's the end of the syllable, because like this, I don't think is. Well, that's what you mean by this, but like my brain is not happy with that. Um, I'm thinking about how I would need.
Is
to
this better?
No, it's fine. I'm just gonna take notes because I need to.
Yeah, non-compensatory lengthening is a good way of putting it. In British, would that be non-compensatory?
Okay.
So anyway, the non-compensatory lengthening is happening because of the deletion of the glottal stop. I don't really see any way that this should be motivated. And so the question is, do we like this? And the result, because the result would be a lot of long vowels.
I mean, I'm fine with it if you're asking me.
So you're okay with at least temporarily the overproduction of long vowels.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like when if you're thinking about English, we have an overproduction of long vowels. We just don't use them meaningfully. But like anything with a voice stop, which is our voiced coda, it lengthens the vowel.
That's true.
And it's just something we do. Even open syllables tend to be lengthened when you compare them to something that ends in a voiceless stop. And so, very technically speaking, this is what English does, just with no meaningful distinction. And so, yeah, I'm fine with it.
Another option is we could mark this one vowel as extra short or something.
No, I was just wrapping my head around what you wanted because I felt like some of what you were saying wasn't matching my understanding of what was on the screen, and so I just needed to wrap my head around it.
Stick into the back of the chair.
It's because it's hot and gross in here.
75.
It's hot and gross in here.
75 is basically the definition of perfect temperature, isn't it?
No. So some people are saying change vowel quality.
Yeah, that's...
Which may be where we're going.
Yeah, maybe. All right, I'm going to write this up. I feel negativity coming from you toward this sound change. I'm not trying to.
No, I am fine with it. It was just I wasn't understanding, and I felt like when I was asking, I wasn't getting what I needed from it.
that's fine. I'm just going to write it in. Adjectives become plain at the ends of syllables and words. I mean, well, essentially the same thing. In this same environment, the glottal stop is lost entirely. And then I don't even know how to write this. Corollary. Vowels in open syllables are lengthened. As a result of the loss of the glottal stop, vowels in other open syllables are lengthened, not those in syllables that were previously capped by glottal stops. Incidentally, people should let me know if there's ever a hiccup or hang up in the stream, because I feel like sometimes there is. Oh, that should actually be, yeah. We have the clownish corollary.
I am starting our Lexergy file.
Oh, Jesse's doing it. Do you need a little pick-me-up to get started?
Well, I mean, I already started it.
Do you need a little pick-me-up to keep going?
No.
Oh, yeah, Mateus. So, I am first, check kicking in. First, I apologize. I didn't put the event on Discord, which I have been doing, which I find very helpful, and I think others do as well. That's my bad. Then what was I going to say? So that was one. And Mateus, I wanted to upbraid you. I just don't have the verb for it anymore. Mateus and I are kind of famous for I love coffee flavor and hate licorice flavor, to irrational degrees. And similarly, Mateus loves licorice and hates coffee flavor to irrational degrees. And so then I go to my local German delicatessen / market and find a European candy being sold there that is half licorice, half coffee. I take a photo of this and post it to our Discord. Matei says nothing. Nothing at all. Like, it wasn't even like I acknowledge that I see this. Nothing. Just thinking of him the whole time. Here you go, Jess.
Thank you.
Oh, had you already heard of it? I'd never heard of it, Mateus.
Oh, cheers, by the way.
Here, I'm going to give you a little cheers this way. Ding! Kopiko. The only thing standing between Mateus and a good time. Had I discovered those before Kopicon, you know I would have bought them and brought them. It's good stuff, Cinnamon. Look. And, like, by the way, while I was at that German market, this is an old world over in Huntington Beach. I found another coffee candy, which I bought for Jessie, because I wanted to buy something. I was out with a friend to bring to her. And previously in this market, they stocked Fazer, which is a Finnish candy company that we really like. So I was looking for something by Fazer. They didn't have anything. They were out. Completely out. And so I was like, man. So I went in and bought some other espresso candy, and it's not as good as Kopiko. Like, it's fine, but the flavor is just not as good as Kopiko. It even has something that it has kind of like a little gooey burst in the center, which is pleasing, but the taste isn't as good. I actually do wonder if Mateus, if you tasted Kopiko versus this candy, like if you would just say they're both just equally bad because coffee, or like if you could identify that one tasted better than the other. I don't know Dalgona coffee. I will write it down though. Dalgona coffee. Keep that in mind. We're gonna have to start an LTS Hot Ones, and it's not gonna be spicy wings. It is instead going to be progressively coffier and coffier candies. Okay, so we got rid of ejectives and the glottal stop at the end of syllables. We kept H for the time being, distinguishing glottalic from glottal. %. Cinnamon says Kopiko is nice and smooth. It sure is. See, Mateus and I are very much on a wavelength and both very kiki. Mateus says, I mean, the chance to talk about myself a lot might almost make it worth it. And it's like, yeah. I think both of us understand that we love talking about ourselves and love being the spotlight, even if we feel it is sometimes inappropriate to admit that. All right. This is the beginning, by the way. I wanted something targeting the adjectives and something targeting the glottal stop. Now we have something in the language that has targeted it, which means we can move on to the next phase. Matisse is coming out firing.
I'm missing it as I work, so you'll have to
I know.
summarize it.
Here you go.
This takes a lot of concentration from me.
I understand. Here we go. Matisse. Fortunately, I am Dutch and therefore have racial immunity to knowing what is inappropriate.
Okay. If
which is not terrible.
I did this correctly. Okay, good. Good. Okay. All right. I've got the proto defined. I have the syllables defined. I need to get actual changes in there, obviously. Oh, I needed to check. Good. Okay. Okay. What's this scary clown in here for?
It's the corollary that doesn't make any sense. I'm freely acknowledging that the idea I had is kind of stupid.
Why?
And unmotivated. Because it doesn't make any sense. I understand that. Anyway, I was just waiting for you to be mad at me. Here, I'm gonna replace it.
Get rid of the clown. And like, I thought someone came up with they threw out the term that sounded fancy. I think it's real, but the non-compensatory feature.
I think that was a joke.
The anti-compensatory feature.
Yeah, I think it was a joke, but
I think it sounds real, and I think this is it.
All right. Well, this is now officially...
Effectively, vowels are shortened, thus making a regular vowel length that was there feel long, and we're going to have to mark it as long because that's an easier thing to mark as a feature than shortness in Lexergy. And so effectively what it's saying is these are shortened, and all the other vowels are technically long, but they're really just what they were producing as vowels in the first place.
It was just that it was so narrow. All right, it's now officially a cowlary. Is that better?
Yes. Like, I'm not a person who has a major thing against clowns, but like, I don't like that emoji. It like picks the worst of clowns.
Mm.
Okay. Now.
You should, Federico Fellini, famous, of course, for 8 1/2 and other movies like that, as a kind of half documentary, half movie on clowns and clown culture in Rome and the history of clowns. Very interesting. You don't come out at the end of it thinking, well, now I understand and like clowns better. It's still kind of horrifying, but at least you know like why and get an idea why some might have found that interesting. Oh, I saw it too. I saw it too. My God. Jake said, "You have a thing against clowns and you married David." Immediately followed it up with, "That might have been too harsh." Well, now this is something that wasn't in the movie. Madam Nee says clowns can register the copyright for their makeup by painting it on an egg.
Who keeps the egg?
Keeps the egg. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this and this because now we need some test forms. I don't remember our stress rules.
Oh, I was just making notes on that because I'm about to do that in Lexergy.
Yeah.
It goes on the final syllable unless the penultimate syllable is heavier than the final syllable. And we have 3 levels of heaviness, where an open syllable with an ah vowel is considered heavier than an open syllable with a non-ah vowel.
Right.
A coda is considered heavier, and the heaviest is ah followed by coda. And so then you just rank them according to each other.
This will actually be enough. I don't need to go full on. Madeline James says, "I'm trying to binge study for this Jeopardy thing, and I am intrigued. I have no idea what on earth the Jeopardy thing she's talking about might be."
What are you working on? I'm trying to figure out the best way to get this in Lexergy. I would love to hear what you're working on.
I am grappling with my choices. %100 anime fan. It's kind of funny, Bib, because I was thinking, oh, maybe it would be a thing in this language where if just any stop ends up at the end of a word, it just becomes an adjective, because that's kind of like the easiest, most natural place to make them for English speakers. But yeah. Okay, Madeline James says, it's the writing sprint stream I'm doing tonight. They're doing spooky Jeopardy questions between sprints. I'm going to be awful. Which anyone who's seen the Christmas quiz I was in would know. I think that's false modesty. I think you'll be fine. You seem like somebody who would be a fan of Halloween. Just saying that. So, are you doing stuff, or do you have time to look at stuff?
I mean, I can look at stuff. I'm just trying to figure out.
I don't know why I did tabs. There are people who get way into Halloween, and I would rather spend time with somebody who gets way into musical theater, and that is saying something for me.
Okay, yeah, let's look at something because I'm struggling with this. What are you looking at?
All right, I'm gonna pop some colors on these guys, so we all know what we're looking at. Okay, so right here, we have stress in this language. If we were to do a thing where the loss of glottalization at the beginning of a syllable leads to tone, we certainly could. But where there is a conflict between high tone and stress, actually I can think of one more. There is options about what to do. And so I wanted us to look at these options to think if this is even a road we want to go down, or if we just want to kick tone to the curb. So, like, Jesse is working on Lexergy. And as I think many of you know, it does require quite a bit of focus. And there are also going to be a lot of sometimes frustrating things where you try something and then it doesn't work, which leads to, hyper focus,
Well, and right now I'm staring down the abyss of how to rank syllable weights so it assigns the correct syllable stress in Lexergy.
That doesn't sound like fun.
At least at this stage. They're shorter. And there's only so many vowels to go around.
You could you could define the vowels that way. Like, just say if it's a low vowel at this stage, then it's heavier.
Yeah, I was going to make weight a feature, but then if you have stress assigned to the syllable, which I had hoped to do because I like the way that output looks better, you have to define it differently. Wait. I know what file I need to open. Okay, no. Let's talk about the options here.
Okay. So in something like protoform kani, we get stress on the first syllable. And so it's very clear what would happen if we were doing a tone thing. Kani would become kani, like that. High tone, low tone, very easy. But for a protoform like kana, which would come out as next kana, then it's a question of, are we looking at kana, 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 kana?
Mm. Were you treating the acute accent as a rising tone or as a high tone?
High.
The macro then is a mid tone?
Yes.
Okay. That put my pinyin training to the test there, because I'm reading it as kana.
Well, if Pinyin had done things correctly, but it didn't.
No, one is stable and one is rising. The acute represents a rising. How would you do rising versus stable high?
Acute versus.
No, but then.
That's rising. Bup.
Okay, so what would you do with wo, which is that tone, exactly, a lower rising?
Thought you said the first one was rising.
Okay. So.
It is two different rising tones?
Yeah. Tone 1 is high, tone 2 is low to high, tone 3 is mid, low, high, a like that, and then tone 4 is falling, high, low.
Oh, and then you need the 3 one that goes like that.
Oh God, that's awful.
It's used.
I disagree with you. I think that they did the best they could with the. There are other ways that it is lacking, but the tone marking I don't feel is the way you see it. So this one was a falling tone, the one I have highlighted?
Yep.
I mean, I like the idea of playing with tone because it feels like this language could be suited for it. I don't know how it should be realized.
Just a quick reminder about what we got. Because just as a reminder, we also will have to ultimately decide what's going to happen with things like this should become that, which would become no idea. Like, nah. Or if it stays, and if it does stay, then it wouldn't lead to tone. I don't know. Jake is suggesting a tonal accent, which is the type of thing where basically the pitch at the stress syllable can be different. And so an example of truthfully, I think that would be... something like that. Kana. And it would contrast with something like... so, kana versus kata. In other words, this syllable has the stress, and so it's the only one that gets any kind of an intonation. And so some of them would just have higher intonation than others, but there would, at present, never be any minimal pairs. And so it would just be a phonetic feature. Goodness gracious. I know that Nemo's left, but... just throwing this out there to see what people are feeling. By the way, Madeline, if you want to say more specifics about what that stream is you're doing tonight, I'll mention it. Or what
My
channel
brain went
it's on.
back to the stress issue. I'm sorry. I'm not being very helpful because my brain went back to
No, it's fine.
stress.
Oh man, I've been at Top Chat this whole time. Embarrassing. Oh. Oh my god. I'm stopping it. I don't know if more people are just voting on different accounts, but 22 votes. I asked if we should have tone or not in this language at all. 50-50.
Oh, dang.
With such a large vocal range, wouldn't they use tone more with their 77 octaves? Or what was that typo? Was it 77 octaves that they said bats had in that paper that Bib was reading?
Oh, yeah. The typo note was supposed to be 7.
Yeah. Love to hear Golden with 77 octaves. All right, well, Madeline, I know it's not a stream you're doing on your channel. I know it's on another writer's channel. Which one? This way we can send people to it. They can cheer for you. Madeline James World Builds will be on Cody the Writer's channel, doing some writing sprints interspersed by Spooky Jeopardy. And it will be at time. That was not given to me. Oh my gosh, it said, oh, it's directly after this stream. It's directly after this stream. Now you know what you're doing. Extreme is one word for it, indeed. Karis has dropped a link to the stream that is going to succeed ours. I really am excited to hear about the results, Madeline. I want you to win the sprint and also answer the most Jeopardies. There's this tremendous scene in Wooster and Jeeves with Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie, where Wooster and some of his fellow Drones Club's members are playing this song and singing, and they just sound awful. And then this, like, you know, as it's going on, one of the guys, stops and he says, "Haha, finished! Miles ahead of you!" As if, playing the song were a race. It's brilliant. And no thank you at all. Nobody wants to say Jeeves and Wooster. It's silly. It's obviously Wooster and Jeeves.
If this works, oh my god. Okay.
I actually kind of wonder what people are going to be watching while the sprint is happening. Unless, I guess, what you're writing is up on the stream, on the screen. This doesn't make sense.
Okay, so I think
I'm getting rid of that one. Booster.
Okay. I've got it now. Unfortunately, the vowel is carrying the stress feature, which is problematic.
For when the vowel gets deleted, but only unstressed vowels get deleted. Never mind. Go ahead.
Is problematic for how it looks because we've got these ejective, like an ejective K followed by a stress marker for the vowel. And it looks really awful.
I don't worry about that because we're going to get rid of the ejectives anyway.
I also don't like how it looks when there's consonant stress marker vowel and they're supposed to be the same syllable. Oh my god, I think I just fixed it. I fixed it. Oh my god. Okay.
Oh.
We've got stress assignment. Now, David.
Yeah.
I gotta warn you, like, anything you type is liable to be taken away because as I update things, it kills your system. However, you can go into Lexergy. You should be able to pull up Batling, and right now we have protoconsonant and vowels in there, and we've got stress. What we do not have is any of the sound changes that we've done as of yet, because I was just figuring out how to get stress to work, which is necessary before I do the first sound change.
I do not see battling.
Then it hasn't updated in the system yet. No. Okay.
I'll keep refreshing.
I may also need to ask Graham, because I feel like last time Graham had to do something to make the language visible as an example. That may need to happen again. But
someone put Graham on Discord.
It is in there, and right now things are not yet broken. I'm about to break them by trying to add in the first rule, which is vowel deletion, which requires a ranking of sonority. Okay, I think I know how to do this.
Yeah, it's not coming up. When you're ready, I think I really need your counsel, but only when you're ready.
Just 1 second. Stop class. Okay, sorry. Yeah, what's up?
Well, little lady. When you're looking at those color thingies again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you're looking at them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I got rid of the green.
Oh.
Oh. I got rid of the green because it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
It doesn't honor. It's basically saying we're ignoring stress.
Okay.
And stress was kind of important for this language, so I got rid of green. Green doesn't make sense. Red is stress gives you a high tone, and so does glottalization. Blue is like there are mitigating factors, and suddenly we have 3 levels in this register tone language instead of 2, mid, high, and low. Yellow or orange is it's still 2 levels. It's a register tone language. It's still 2 levels, but we allow for high plus low to give us falling. And I think for this one, based on how it's created, I don't know if at some point in time there will be a rising tone, but there would only just be 2 levels, and the allowed tones would be high, low, and falling. Purple is essentially the kind of funky pitch accent thing. So it's like the stressed syllable gets some sort of pitch associated with it, and everything else just gets nothing. Are there any of these that you just want to eliminate? I won't delete them. Yeah, I know what I said, John. I'll just put a line through them, like I did with green.
I don't know how I feel about the orange one. guess the blue one. Wait, what does the straight line again represent?
Midtone.
Okay.
So this is Menishé, this is Hausa.
Menishé, it would be blank.
Oh yeah, well, in terms of how it's written, yeah. And like probably ultimately, if we were doing the romanization rather than IPA, it would be.
Boy, this is potentially where we're going. Maybe I should leave stress as a vowel feature. Anyway. I'm far too conflicted to really feel anything.
Are any of these giving you hate? Any of them stirring hate in your breast?
No, it's just none of them are sparking joy. You know? So it's sort of like, we can do any of them.
We could also do none of them.
We could do none of them. And I think part of it is just like figuring out more of the system, sort of like how Wokuthishu, you know, it's like once you started the stress or the tone system, you kind of had to keep figuring out what else would affect tone, how would this affect, and then, you know, suddenly you have a different syllable shape and it's like, well, crap, what does that do to tone? And so, like, part of it is this is just like two pieces from what will be a bigger system.
Strike through that one and see how we feel now.
But anyway, like, so it could just be that I'm not seeing the whole system come together. It's also problematic that it's hard for me to shift and really feel the results of this, while my brain is like, how am I going to do this sonority ranking well? I think I'm going to have to write a very ugly rule. And I think that's what I'm setting myself up for, is writing a very ugly rule that will be like multi-parted.
Here, let's make things a little easier. Now we're just down to red and yellow.
Well, red, yellow, and nothing, in which case that could be our poll for the week if you're happy with all three. If you're not happy with all three, then we should just like make a decision and start thinking about what the poll should be for patrons.
Well, there's two different types of nothing, though. Because one type of nothing is that this becomes this, and another type of nothing is that we don't get rid of the ejectives at this stage. Which of those type of nothing are we happy with? I was somewhat uncomfortable with losing the ejectives and nothing happening at all. Because I feel like the only reason they should be lost is if there's some competition with something else. After consonants are at the beginning of a word, the prenasalization drops down and becomes syllabic. So that's still where we're at. We haven't dissimilated yet. So we still got something like that. clicks. I don't see those G's and D's and B's radically devoicing. That doesn't make any sense.
Sorry, I have the wrong browser open. See what's going on in chat.
They're talking about phonation and breathy voice, and you're going to be waiting a long time before that happens, let me tell you. Voice stops love to devoice, but after a nasal?
And they can't, because where we're headed is in duck. We need the D.
Yeah, we do. Tell me more, Karis. As I immediately think of like all the pre-nasalized voice stops in like Swahili. Just read what Tinguish wrote. I don't know about you sometimes.
Okay. Is the glottal stop going to be lost everywhere? Is that the potential?
I don't know.
Potential?
That's one option. We've gotten rid of it at the end of syllables, which is fine. But it seems kind of more difficult to get rid of it in between vowels. We haven't touched it yet at the beginning of a word.
Okay, so we can play around with what these symbols would mean. But what if we did a system where oops. Okay, now it's thinking. I gotta wait for my beach ball. Okay.
We both have new computers, and our language documents are still too powerful for it.
Okay. What if we did like a rising, falling, and then high tone? Like, so stress assigns high tone. Adjective normally would give a falling tone, but if it's a stressed adjective syllable, it takes a rising.
Where's the low part of it coming in now?
An unstressed syllable?
No, in the stressed one.
And what? Sorry, what?
Why is this more likely to have a high tone than this?
I'm okay. So what I'm saying is, I don't care what you do with any of these three. What if we have tone 1, 2, and 3? Whatever they are, whatever makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Where if it's adjective, it goes to whatever the 1 is. If it's stressed but not after an adjective, it goes to whatever a 2 is. But if it's both stress and adjective, it goes to a 3 or a, a K1 2 or something.
What about that?
Then that's like the low. It does nothing. It stays where it is. So 4.
And then let's separate this. This is something separate.
If, because people are saying like this creaky voice thing, what if that really was the beginning stage and then they interpreted that as a low tone? So actually, adjectives left a trace of a low tone. Because it was momentarily creaky voice. And then they're like, yeah, that just sounds low.
Thus far, we had said we were just doing high tone with all of the adjective ones.
I know, hun, and I'm just saying, here's a system where you could distinguish, and where then the glottal stop can become a K in these situations, and
italics do go both ways.
It completely, it preserves a distinction, because the K that was an adjective is going to be marked with a different tone than the glottal stop that becomes an adjective, even if it's a stress syllable. It was just an idea.
Were you trying to solve a problem?
Well, one, I was trying to solve this problem.
Okay.
And 2, this doesn't make sense to my head. Like, where does the low tone, why would it start anywhere but high if it leaves a high tone?
Because it's unstressed.
But it's got the adjective. Like, why would it go anywhere? This is also unstressed and it's getting high tone.
Yeah, that's a different proposal.
I know, but your brain is fine with that. Your brain is fine with saying the adjective starts out low tone here and goes high, whereas like when I was trying to suggest something down here, you're like, but where does the low tone come from? And it's like, well, because it's like, it just like, it seems fine in some situations but not fine in others. I was just trying to make a system where you preserve some differences, and you don't like it, get rid of it. Like, I'm not attached to anything.
It's slightly different from what you said. However, I'm going to, let's see here. There's actually 2 different ways of doing this one. So they have more in common. Okay. All right. Do you see these ones that I put up here?
No. But I will in a minute. What do you mean a feature? Okay, what's up?
Okay, can you look at what I did? We have A1, B1, A2, B2.
Okay.
The A's assume that glottalic consonants are associated with height.
Okay.
The B's assume that they are associated with lowness.
Okay.
And then you can see there's two different ways of doing it that I've thought of. So with this one, like the unstressed ka becomes ka, the stressed one ka, and then the stressed na na, so they would be the same. But A2 tries to preserve the distinction. So whatever these end up being, stressed ka is higher than stressed na. Then, but this is assuming that the is high.
Mm-hmm.
This one, assuming it's low, goes the other way. So these were both merged as low tones, na, ga. And then na is high. And then this one kind of has a rising one. Instead of being high, na, it's ga.
Mm-hmm.
This one, na, is just like neutral. Ga is the only one that's low. Na is high, and then ga is rising. And that gives you 4 different outcomes. Each of them gives you, the 2's give you 4 different outcomes. The 1's give you 3 different outcomes. Also, can you move your cursor on the document?
I'm attempting to. There we go.
All right, there we go.
Is this something you would be interested in doing as a poll?
I don't necessarily love each of these 4 options.
Okay.
I liked these 3, but I got the sense that you didn't like them. And so I was trying to construct ones that you would like.
I'm fine with them.
Well, don't be defeated. Just...
No, I'm defeated by what I'm trying to do.
well, what do you think about these 4 new options?
I honestly don't know. Like I thought I was being helpful, and I feel like now I just did too much, and
I mean, it's an interesting system, but I just got the impression you didn't like what I had done, and so I was trying to turn your system into 4 options.
And I thought that I was just, I didn't know, you didn't seem to like the nothing happens. I thought we needed more for a poll than 2 things. I was just trying to...
Oh, no. There were 2 versions of nothing happens. What I didn't like was just getting rid of the ejectives. So I should actually just get rid of that for the time being. I didn't feel like that was possible. I was perfectly happy with the nothing happens and we don't have tone.
Okay. And I'm fine with that.
What do you like amongst the A1 or the A and B options?
I don't know. Like, I need to sit with it.
Okay.
Like, there's nothing that's jumping out. Nothing is like.
All right.
It almost feels like this is something that something may not jump out until we're 8 more sound changes down the road, and it's like or like we just start creating words so that way I can get a feel for it. And so because that is not helpful, like I'm just not. I need to sit with this.
All right. I've overtaxed you, and I am sorry.
No, I'm trying to, like, I felt like I was not being helpful, so I wanted to be helpful and get Lexergy started, and now my brain is there, and like I am not. When I'm in that mode, I'm in coding what we've decided mode. I'm not in let's think about possibilities. I think I have the vowel deletion rule done.
Nice. All right. Well, then there will be some sort of poll on this, and we'll figure it out later. But we will figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, everybody. Extra long episode. Also, it started off a little shaky for technical reasons, which should not be a surprise. But also, it was my fault. Anyway, Stay Grammar. Thank you for... Oh my gosh. A Jesse's Choice option. That is also an option. Oh my gosh, we could make the poll real easy. Say David's choice or Jesse's choice. And then it would also just be done. Nobody would vote for me. All right. Stay grammar, everybody. We will see you next week. Bye.